What's up, guys? Back at it again with my favorite subreddit by far, r/Prorevenge. Today, got another 3 stories lined up ready to go. First of all, we've got a nasty, rude, discriminating old lady who gets exactly what she deserves. Secondly, our OP was promised a raise and had everything snatched away. So she quit and left a little present behind when she went. And lastly, we've got a scamming mechanic who ends up paying 3 times what he initially charged. And unless you're new here, you know that there's a bonus coming afterwards, so stay tuned for that as well, because we got some good ones. Alright, let's get in it. Rude old lady acts entitled and humiliates a cashier. I get to watch her waste her time. This happened yesterday, and it was sweet. As I implied in the title, I didn't get to execute the revenge, but I happened to be in the blast radius of this old hag, and the employee who executed it let me watch. TLDR at the bottom. Small background. I was in a fresh market, aka healthy hippie supermarket, buying groceries for our Friday night get-together with friends. The way the lines work here for cashiers is with a single line for all of them. And instead of looking for a free employee or the shortest line, you just do this one line, and an employee will call you over to their spot with a bell once they're free. In comes the cast. ROL, rude old lady, cashier, cashier 2, me, a tap dancing velociraptor who is also a wizard. Fair enough. I have been waiting in line for a while now. The place isn't full, per se, because it's early in the weekday. I work 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., so this is the best time for me to buy stuff. So it's just me and a handful of retired folks. Behind me, I could hear ROL complaining about how slow this was going and that she had places to be. But I ignored her. There were a couple people between me and her, and the line was moving its usual pace for the workers they had on. Morning shift and markets have less employees because less people come to buy stuff, you know? Then I get to the front of the line, and ROL's attention turns to me. ROL, just pick a cashier already. I can't wait all day. Me, that's not how this system works. I will wait here until ROL. Oh my god, your generation doesn't know how to behave in a market anymore. It's because you guys order food now. Me, first off, you don't know how this works, and I was just trying to explain. A bell rings, and before I can slide my cart towards the cashier, I see her slide past the people behind me and just push me off her way. ROL, if you won't go, I will. I stopped her in her tracks, more out of reaction for being shoved aside instead of actually retorting to her. Me, excuse me, miss. I'm going to go there, and you're cutting in line. ROL, you all act like you just never been to a market before. Let me go. I unblock her path, and she marches angrily. I look at the people behind me, and we all silently agree that letting her have her petty little victory is for the best, until she did something far worse. She arrived at the cashier and gave the guy working there a very nasty glare. I have never seen someone look that disgusted. Mind you, the cashier that opened up was a bit further away and behind some signs, so I had no idea what she was seeing. Instead, she shuffled up to the cashier next to it that already had a client paying up, ignoring the one that was free. I went over, and when I turned the corner, I understood what was going on. The employee she refused to get service from had Down syndrome. The poor guy looked so sad, and I couldn't tell you if he was about to cry or something. What made it worse was the fact that ROL was waiting for her turn. She kept glancing at my direction with a smug grin on her face. This woman thought that me getting service from this guy was her way of getting back at me. I was fuming and proceeded to make small talk with this poor guy to try and make him feel better. Little did I know, all the employees have silently been watching from the sidelines. As ROL started putting her items onto the cashier, the employee simply put on a close sign and stood up. ROL, what are you doing? I'm right here. Cashier, I didn't call you. That was my last customer before my 30-minute break. I can come back to you after it. ROL, I won't wait 30 minutes. This is ridiculous. This is awful customer service. Cashier, I suggest you go to the back of the line then. There aren't many people in right now, so you'll get attention quicker. I do suggest only going to a cashier that has called you though. The cashier then left without leaving ROL any room to just complain. She picked up her things and walked to the back of the line. I was wrapping up myself, but before leaving, I noticed the employees kinda nodding to each other, so I stayed behind for a bit. ROL kept being rude to customers, now openly saying that the slowness was because the literal retards they hire, yada yada yada. It's her turn now, and she walks up to pay. Cashier 2, I will ask you to leave your items here and for you to exit the store, ma'am. ROL, excuse me? Cashier 2, our store has a policy of denying service to customers that mistreat other customers and staff. You've been disrespecting people online, cutting in front of other customers, disregarding our procedures, and openly insulting a member of staff and personnel of mine. You can leave, or I can call security. ROL, this is outrageous. You are out of line, mister. I will get the manager. I will get you all fired. Bunch of retards, every single one of you. I bet that thing, pointing at the Down syndrome employee, has more brains than you. Cashier 2, the manager has already been informed of the situation by cashier when she went on her break. I can call him up now. Manager comes up and repeats the same speech to ROL. Manager comes up and repeats the same line to ROL. She storms off, leaving her groceries behind, screaming more profanities while I'm munching on chocolate I bought before. As she left, I shot her the exact same smug grin at her that she'd used before on me. TLDR, old fart is rude at me and customers, discriminates against Down syndrome employee. The staff makes her do the line twice, only to deny her service. Man, why did Cashier 2 end the fun so early? I'm pretty sure they could have gotten her to go on that merry-go-round at least one more time. How I quit my job at the children's hair salon. Backstory, I got hired at a kids salon a while back in 2016. There were only 5 employees. One is the owner, and one is the owner's best friend. They are the reason for this story. Every employee made it their job to remind me I was the only employee in my 20s without kids. This was their excuse to make me cover all their call-offs and for me to work 12 hours, 6 days a week. Why? Because I didn't have a real reason to need to be home, nor did I need a babysitter, so I had all the time in the world to cover things. I did this for a year. I was the only one in the salon with a 5-star rating and had the largest clientele, which made sense with the hours I put in. So, professional me, I asked nicely if when we moved to a larger location, because I had made enough to move locations with my clientels and ranking in the area. My boss agreed to $2.50 more an hour, making it so my pay would be enough to pay all my bills and I could live safe and not worry. So I gladly accepted and asked if I could have an extra day off a week. She said I earned it. A week later, they finished the repairs on the new location. She told me I just had one more month before the pay change, and her friend who works there heard was freaked out. I'm the manager. Why am I not getting a raise? She's already made more than me in commission, says boss's friend. She calms her down and just gives her a raise too, which she would receive immediately. So that night, I'm pissed because this girl works 4 hours, 2 days a week, and is a manager? And got a raise when her rank is a 1 star. So then, I just ignore her for the next day we work alone together. Me and the owner's friend, who proceeds to tell me about how she's going to spend her raise and how she's going to screw her husband later, to which I almost puke. Cause I'm still surprised she's got a husband, with how racist and stupid about things she is. And she tells me she feels sad lately, so she gets to take a few weeks off for mental health. To which I respond, I actually go to therapy for this place, and I don't get mental health days off. She gets a shocked look and stops talking to me. Next day, My boss tells me she's cutting my hours and taking back my raise because I'm ungrateful, because I'm going to therapy for the stress a job with kids causes when you don't have kids. So I say, okay, she leaves and everyone else leaves, and I'm alone to close the store in 8 hours. So I think about it and realize, screw this job. So since it was a store in the mall next to a pretzel place, and I knew how much owner's best friend loves garlic, and the owner loves pretzels, I paid the pretzel girl to make a pretzel in the shape of the words and emoji, I quit, catface. I text her a photo and begin collecting my things to leave and close early. I knew if I closed the store, she would be fined by the mall. She called mall security on me and said I was stealing. So security, who with how long I've been there and talked to mall staff, recognized me and proceed to watch as I pack my stuff, only asking for some stuff on DVDs, if they belong to me. Which this empties the store of all its DVDs and toys, cause in my time there, I bought stuff to occupy the kids during haircuts, like movies and toys I owned. I put it all in a trash bag, and wait till my boss arrives. She takes one smell of the salon, and is hit in the face by an intense garlic smell of the pretzel I got. I made them use the expired garlic cheese on it so they would smell worse. All of the garlic cheese. My boss screams I'm a petty child and I'll regret leaving, and to get the hell out of her salon. So I do, but I forgot my tips and I come back for them. She claims she owns them now, so I call security and he gives them to me while she claims she'll have him fired and the pretzel place next door shut down cause her store smells. I thank the pretzel girl and inform security I was paying customer, so pretzel girl did nothing wrong. He agrees, and I leave. Side note, she paid me in a way that I later found was illegal, so I got her audited too, since my mother-in-law is a lawyer, and my father is an auditor. Well, isn't that just convenient? Also, I got a call after I left from a girl I like to talk to there. She informed me that it still smelled, and she was quitting too cause of the smell. And I still receive emails from clientele from there begging me to open my own kid's salon. You should definitely open your own salon and then put a sign out front that says, "Hate the smell of garlic? Don't worry, we clean our stores here." Bippity boppity, sell to me lies. Boopity bippity, sue you 3 times. Guys, can we just let these boopity bippity things die? Come on, just let them die. Oh man, there was a mechanic in my hometown. One of my friends go in and gets something done. The mechanic says he needs a new radiator hose, so this kid pays for a new hose. A few months later, his mom takes the car back in for an oil change. And guess what? The same mechanic says she needs a new radiator hose. She tells her husband, and her husband drops by. This is where it gets good. Husband, you said I need a new radiator hose, right? Mechanic, yeah? Husband, how long are those supposed to last? Mechanic, a few years. Then they get rigid and run the risk of leaking. Husband, I got my radiator hose changed out a few months ago. Would you sign an affidavit saying the last mechanic to work on my car charged me for work he didn't do? Mechanic, sure. The husband then uses the affidavit to sue the mechanic for 3 times the cost of the work, standard in Texas, and split it with his son. For those who are confused, there's only one mechanic in this story. The paper he signed was testimony against himself. See, mechanics like this give actual good mechanics a bad name, but unfortunately there are actually a lot of mechanics like this who just want to make a quick buck off of a person who has no idea what's going on under the hood. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's stories from r/Prorevenge. Now, like usual, switching up gears, going right into the bonus. And today, we're doing r/facepalm. Let's do it. Friends, I'm desperate here. I'm a newly non-vaccinator, and I want to write about vaccination dangers for my final thesis in college. However, I have to use scholarly journals, etc. as my sources. When I search deep into GSU library, every article seems to be pro-vax, and nothing supporting my argument. Does anyone have any scholarly docs that I can use to prove my point effectively? Thank you all. The fact that you can't find any journal to back up your viewpoint may suggest you need to reassess your viewpoint. Hopefully we just heard the way that an anti-vaxxer dies off and a rational person is born. Paris Jackson, hospitalized after attempted suicide. F you, you effing liars. Not making enough money on your crappy blog? Fear not, make a story up and get free viewers. Men always are dirty liars. They lie in politics, relationships, history, business, and literally everything else. Unlike females, men always lie. You're a man, so does that mean you're lying in your tweet? Blocked and reported. You know, if men literally lied about everything, then society would be a very hard place to live in. Uber searches for a female CEO, has been narrowed down to 3 men. You know, I think you should always hire just the best person for the job, no matter what sex they are. That being said, if you're looking for a female, I think you messed up somewhere down the ways. Alrighty guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.